We're joined today by Dr. Fred Templeman, board-certified physician, held a private practice for a number of years, and now traveling the globe and talking about and explaining the incredible natural supplements industry. Thankfully, a lot of great Zango products are covered there. Fred, thank you for being with us.
It's always fun, Dave.
Let's talk today about Zalo Ageless, the anti-aging product. What is the benefit, or what is the draw about an ageless product?
Well, we have an aging population in most of the developed countries. And everybody looks at aging almost as if it were a disease, even though it's never been called a disease, even though it's inevitable, even though it happens. Everyone's interested in actually slowing it down, doing something to make it a little less painful as you go on through life. And so every supplement company has got to have a dog in this race. And they have put products out there, sometimes that are questionable. And they're questionable for two reasons in my mind. One, either they're so complex and they've got all kinds of things that they want to label on the side of their bottle, but the amounts that they can put in are insufficient to bring about any serious effects. Because there are a lot of things in the supplement market that do have an effect on the process of aging. But it becomes a question of choosing an appropriate amount and to have the amounts in terms of the ingredients, and have the amounts of those ingredients that reflect the research in the science that backs up their use as an anti-aging element.
And in talking about that research and the science behind it, we know that a lot of the effects that happen from many supplements address the physical manifestation of aging. Tell us about the difference between what those products try to do and what Zalo Ageless is doing.
Well, Zalo Ageless has got a couple of, let's put it this way, they weren't high draft choices when you started to form your team, but they have turned out to be stars, so you really got a bargain. The first one is mangosteen. It's been around approximately for 12 to 13 years now as a major product in the market. And you only have to see how people are imitating the Zango product to realize the value of this. But the scientists are also trying to make a drug out of this. They are using the mangosteen in crude drugs in Japan already. The Chinese have said, we're going to make a drug out of it. The Americans are synthesizing it. So the mangosteen is a dark horse that probably is going to be the most versatile and the most popular supplement ever. So that's the one. The second dark horse really is Shilajit, or Shilajit, or you can call it a number of things, Mumio. It's been around for thousands, if not for thousands of years actually, and it's been in Russia. It's an exudate from the soil, so in the high mountains, I almost said Atlas, but that's Africa, so the Urals and the Himalayas, it oozes out, and it is a concoction that is jam-packed with minerals and trace minerals, over 50 of them. It also has fulvic acid in it, not folic acid, but fulvic acid. And if anybody wants to look that up, they can see the anti-aging effect. Now, with both of these two very important backbone products, when the scientists have looked at the traditional medical paradigm and said, what's it used for? And then they test it in modern science, they inevitably find that it always does what the tradition has said that it will do. That's not the case with everything. And that's why these two ingredients really truly are the backbone of this product.
Now I also know you're excited, obviously, and thankfully so, excited about mangosteen, excited about these incredible ingredients. Tell us about GABA. What's the noise about GABA these days?
Well, you know, proteins are extremely important in the body. First of all, structurally, all proteins are made of the building blocks of amino acids. But there are some amino acids like GABA which never are incorporated into protein. They are what are called neurotransmitters. Cells in the neurons of the central nervous system and also peripherally in the body never completely touch each other. And so there's a place called a synapse, or a little gap between the end of one nerve and the beginning of another. And you can only jump that gap in an electrochemical form. And the elements that are called neurotransmitters actually do this. And GABA is one of the inhibitory neurotransmitters that the body uses very strongly in numerous different things. And so it's obviously going to be there because neurodegeneration, or the actual decline with aging in neural function, is key to an intervention point. And that's why the GABA is there.
And so in the case of Zalo Ageless, we're eager to help people understand that this is communication on a cellular level. We're not pasting over a symptom or glossing over something. Tell us about how that cellular level is so important to what Zalo Ageless does.
Well, there are over 34 theories of aging, biological theories of aging. Some of them have more traction than others, and when Zango was designing and formulating their product, they took the three major theories of aging, and the one that they emphasized most was the mitochondrial theory of aging. Mitochondria are the little subcellular organelles that convert food into energy. And when you have plenty of them and you're young, you do very well on a mitochondrial count. But as time goes on and as you age, the number of mitochondria decline and their efficacy declines. So at a cellular level, what you're trying to do is to find those elements from supplements that are going to push the biogenesis of mitochondria. Keep the numbers up, keep the efficacy up. And those were the things that Zango chose to put into their product line. In this particular case, things that will stimulate and protect the mitochondria.
Now, you referenced as you age, those things happen. Let's talk about what kind of age range might be affected by taking Zalo Ageless.
Well, unfortunately for those of you who are listening and who are over the age of 30, you're already on the downhill slope. I know it sounds awful to think that you peak in your late 20s, but that's the case. And after that, it is a slow decline. And what we can affect is the actual angle of that decline. And that's why you should be using this before you have wrinkles. You should be using this before your gut slows down to the point where it no longer is doing everything that it was able to do before. Same thing is true of your gonads. Use this when you are still feeling well in order that you can prolong and bring about a decrease in the angle of the decline that's going to be in your individual case.
And tell us what people might expect as they take this product. Maybe what will they see in the first number of hours, maybe within the first day or two, the first week or so, the first 90 days. Talk about that.
Well, I thought it was going to be a problem when we were designing the problem, formulating the product, that we were going to have nothing that would give an immediate effect. And that is dangerous because people want to feel and see something. But in fact, that isn't the case. So within a week or two of using this product, people generally begin to have an improvement in their sense of well-being that is measurable. Now, if they have disease, then there may be a reduction in some of the inflammation signals, some of the problems that are related to that. But what will eventually happen with a good anti-aging product is that after 6 months when you go to the doctor, you're going to start seeing some changes in things that the doctor looks at, blood counts. Things that are indicative of the body doing better than it would without the assist of the Zalo Ageless. So the proof is not just in the immediate short term or even medium term, but in the long term effects where you can see those on lab tests.
And are there any restrictions around how to take it, when to take it, what to take it with?
Usually it's recommended that it be taken at night because when you take GABA, for example, it increases the surge of growth hormone that normally takes place when you're asleep. And so we would like to have that optimized. However, in some people, they get real vivid dreams. It's like, you know, turning off the light and going into the Cinemax. You really have some vivid dreams, and those people can take it any time during the day because the benefits are there, although the optimal benefits would be with taking it in the evening.
And are there any other supplements that you would recommend taking with it? Any combinations of products?
Well, there are a couple of things that Zango has in its performance line, one of them helping with the restoration of muscle after exercise, which I think is really great. And a lot of people who don't take it at night, do take it with the Limitless. That's not something you can take if you're going to be taking it at night, but if they want the benefit during the day, because there are some feelings that are really beneficial, then they can take it mixed with that. There is no limitation against mixing it with the juice or mixing it with other things. In fact, I would say that the optimal way to take it is with the juice.
Fred Teppelman, thank you so much for your contributions here. We appreciate your energy and your passion for supplementation and the wellness, really, of the whole human race. Thanks for that, Fred.
Oh, you're quite welcome.